refresh that. Yeah. Let us see. I think this is the one. Let's put a picture in there. All right, put a picture in. Ba 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 do 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 do. Happy days are here again. I'm going out of my mind during lockdown. Come on, man, save that. All right. Why do I got that picture there? Yeah, hold on a minute, guys. Everything's all cocked up today. All right, we got that. Yeah. Let's get this thing fixed up here. Now, where the hell that picture came from? I just let's see. Let me change the picture. Hold on a minute. Let me change the picture. All right, where is it? Did I hit the wrong one? Yes, I did. There we go. All right. Where are you? Bam! Just like that. Let's save that. Wish you all a very happy Tuesday morning as we continue to shelter in place here. Good morning, everybody. Yeah. Lucky Beans. Hello, Kimberly. Hello, Rouge. How are you? Nice to see you this morning. And let the room populate a little bit. I'm in very good spirits today. Why? Because the sun is shining outside. After that horrific Saturday, Sunday, and Monday of rain, we might see 75 degrees here coming up this week, which would be absolutely stellar. So let me just adjust a few more things. I hope you guys are doing well. Boris Johnson's hanging in there, the Prime Minister of the UK. That puts me in a good mood to realize that today. So good. Yeah, before I get underway, yeah, I'm feeling very upbeat today. And as you come in, please hit the thumbs up button. Appreciate it, guys. Showing a little love here on a Tuesday morning. What do we got? We got like decent weather for the rest of the week, which would be nice. Easter week, I want to make a coconut cake. This week, you guys will be a part of that on Friday. So I'm looking forward to having that, baking that up. I don't know if I have any coconut or not. That is the question at hand. I kind of hate to go. Hey Kevin, how are you? I've kind of set things up. Crystal, hey babe, can I send you my 87 degrees? I would love it. Rosie's all about Crystal, the warm, fuzzy, nice weather out there. I like it. I like it hot. I can take it hot. I proved that by existing in a van up to 100+ degrees and sleeping in 92, 95 degrees overnight. Yeah. In high humidity. I did it. I was a survivor in that. So very happy about that. Got the grass cut here. It's kind of strange this time of year when you think about how Easter won't be with traditional Easter services. I know some places, hey Fish, I know some places are pushing for like sunrise services and things like that if you can have appropriate social distancing, which I think is probably okay. It's a question of how much do you want to take away from people. I thought of you with the weather. Yeah, there you go, Crystal thought of me. I mean, how much do you want to take away from people? Easter's a time for celebration, and the way things are going today, I think people are starting to feel pretty good out there. I think optimism is starting to run high. Hey Patsy, yeah, my day is going well. It's a beautiful day today. It really is. It's sunny. Try to give you a little peek out there. At the back, I don't know if you can see it. The sun is so bright. Right in the back. Continuing to hunker down. Hey, Shannon. Hey, Patsy. The worst is to come, though. In terms of here, my good friend Chris gave me a heads up that in our particular area, especially amongst the some of the Mexican community and things, they've not been doing the social distancing. I see other people out there too, so I'm not going to agree with who's out there, but they think the big wave is going to come next week for us here. Hey, bad, how are you? I'm sorry what happened to you and Missy. I couldn't even imagine. That is all I say. And yet this morning, Fish, I appreciate that. A lot of people wrote me overnight. Some people called and left message. We're fine. This goes way back. And I want to tell you, you get a couple comments overnight. You always get one or two people that are still so invested in their own self-importance and their own hate, but yet they lack the courage to post a comment under their known YouTube name. So they create a second account and come on with ridiculous names like Tinkerbell, Lieutenant Dan, and they have no subs, they have no content. The only reason they exist is come on and spread negative messages and to try and continue to try to deny that it didn't happen. One of them went so far as to say, Rosie continuously posts dark content. It's like, are you kidding? In my opinion, I think I'm the most upbeat, cheerful, happy channel on the boy by far. Okay, I don't get all involved in the muck and mire or who did what and who's under the microscope. I don't do that stuff. I never have. I never will. So when I get comments like that, I just remove and block. Okay, because they're not after trying to tell the story. They're there to try to whip up animosity, to try to gather their small tribe to continue to be troublemakers. So I take them out. I take them out right away. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry, Miss Pudwina says she was victimized on that. Hey, Buff. So I will tell you this, and I will show you. And here's the I have some protected information because it's some affidavits and other things that are related here, and I will relay. The enclosed information is provided by the United States Department of Justice Victim Notification System. As a victim witness professional, my role to assist you with information services. I'm contacting you because you were identified by law enforcement as a victim or potential victim during the investigation of the above criminal case. This one in particular was United States versus John Cameron Denton, and I've already cited the case number. Charges have been filed. The lead prosecutor is Karina Cuellar. The main charge is categorized as computer crime. And there was two defendants. Okay, one has already pled guilty, and the other one will stand trial. You can see this is from the Department of Justice. You can see don't know if you can see the date, April 2nd of 2020, okay? And it's from the United States Attorney, all right, Eastern District Victim Witness Unit, okay? All right, you can see that one for each one of these morons here. Okay, and there they are. Okay, April 2nd, you can see it was stamped up there, Northern Virginia. So, okay, that's the reality of it. So when I see someone under a ridiculous name come in to troll, I just remove it. And my moderators know when they see comments that are of that nature and ungrounded that they have the power to remove those comments, and I have the utmost faith in all of my moderators. Some people come on and they think, yeah, there was arrests, Fish. There were arrests. You can read all the links last night of the stories that were in there. Okay, they remain in incarceration. Okay, this is serious stuff. Part of the Atomwaffen, which means a nuclear bomb, and in German. This is very, very, very serious stuff these guys engaged in. Okay, so I don't put up with any nonsense on my channel of people that come on and try to post stuff to the contrary. They're just removed. Okay, they're just taken out. I don't need it. I'm not here to argue with them. Well, you're a real person, monkey boy. So there's the reality of it. Okay, I don't put up with nonsense. I take it out, and then you'll have the people that write you, "Oh, my comment was removed." Yeah, because my channel's not a free speech zone. My channel doesn't exist for you to reshape what the story is that I tell. Okay, I put up with that nonsense immediately after the police action in January. I don't have to go through that again. Okay, it's all a matter. You can look it up. I cited the case numbers and things like that last night. So, how you doing, Kim? So, yeah, you were mind blown over this. This is the kind of people you don't know who you're talking to on here. So, there's nobody in the world that has to put up with the reverberations and things like that, especially for with accounts that were created 4 hours ago. They're just cut, boom, and that's it. Never to see the light of day. I mean, some people got the idea that YouTube is supposed to be some type of free speech zone where they're allowed to put out whatever they want. It's never been the case on my channel, and it never will. You need to only look at the man in the can to realize what happens when a channel is totally taken over as a channel of hate. That'll never happen to this channel. Yep, I got this one. That's right. So I'm good to go. I will keep you guys posted. Thank you, Monkey Boy. I will definitely keep you guys posted. Okay, on this. And say, yeah, as of March 9th, John Cameron Denton is in custody. They had a preliminary hearing. Then they had to postpone it because, as I said, the prosecuting attorney, the assistant attorney for the United States, is evidently a National Guard or Army Reserve person. So they're in. The other one, John William Kirby Kelly, as of January 10th, 2020, he is in custody. His hearing is scheduled for May 8, 2020 at 9 a.m. at Alexandria Courtroom 1000 Federal Courthouse, Alexandria, Virginia. Let's see. The purpose of this hearing for the defendant to enter a plea of guilty. Your attendance is not required. If you're a victim and wish to speak at the plea hearing, please call our office well in advance. Well, we're also allowed to put a statement in, which I already did for things. So it's yeah, we're doing good. Hey, tis me. Good afternoon, Brary. Yeah, everybody has the right to run there. I built this channel through years of hard work, as I've seen others build their channels, destroy them, restart, and sad to say, jealousy is just a fact of life here on YouTube. But it need not be, because we're all in the same boat going forward. We've all been affected by events that have taken place in the world, particularly COVID-19. And whether some people realize it or not, the remuneration, the payoff for being a YouTube content creator, if you're just here for the money, is going to dry up significantly. You can already see by looking at advertisements of people that are monetized that they have swung around, many of them to cheaper public service announcements by the government about washing your hands and other things. You will be able to see, how you doing, Judy? You will be able to see going forward who really enjoys bringing content and who's here just strictly to harvest the money. And that will be the reality of YouTube going forward. It's not my doing. It's times we live in. I mean, they're still talking about, Larry Kudlow, the White House chief economic advisor, still talking about 4 weeks. They're planning ways to get things to be reopened. My guess, when it's all said and done, somebody asked me last night. How do I think it's all going to play out in the end? I suspect that we will be dealing with this or some variation of this for probably over a year, maybe a year and a half. And my guess is one of two things will happen. Either we'll have herd immunity, which means 2% or 3%, or depending on the area, up to 5-6% of the people will pass away. And the rest will be effectively immunized. Or number two, there will be a viable vaccination program, but that still will take a year to ramp up that particular program to produce the doses that are needed. Hello, Deb. Nice to see you. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jessica. I'm sorry. If there was any time to be human and help one another, it is now. Exactly. Exactly. See, I think it is scary out there. So you should at least file a report if you were victimized by personal property crime, which, believe it or not, is um, actually not that high. Crime has really dropped off a lot. The police are really having a nice breathing spell. Evidence of that is the fact that for years, as I've sat here and done my chooches, I don't care whether it's morning, I don't care whether it's afternoon or evening, you always heard sirens, whether they were fire department, ambulance, or police. Be it the sheriff's office, Sonoma County Sheriff's Department, the California Highway Patrol, or the Santa Rosa City Police. It's been a fact of life. We've heard maybe 1 or 2 times in the last month, which to me is pretty amazing. Let's see. Chase Bank said, "Big CEO is Harvey De Niro in the house." Obviously not, Richie. So I'm just putting it out there. That to me seems to be the logical conclusion of it. Just like herd immunity was the thing that finally did away with it in 1917, 18, 1919. That was two very long years of dealing with the situation. Of course, at that time, people did not know about viruses. They did not really know the mechanism of disease. Now we know it. But viruses are very tricky little things because they, they're single strands of RNA, and they'll combine with other strands, whether it's in pigs or waterfowl, could be anything, and create new variations of things. So it's how new mutations occur up in it. So thank you, Christine. I'm using a lot of thieves oil and essential oil for the immune system. That's good. Yeah, glad they got it. Wasn't just mine, Richie. It wasn't mine. These guys were on a scale that was beyond belief. And I read some of the stories of these two, John Cameron. What is his name? John Cameron Denton and John William Kirby Kelly. Both of these, both of these guys were big time. And the most disturbing thing to me of all was their website, the Adam Waffen, bragged about the killing of a Jewish student. You know, which I think is absolutely horrendous. How you doing, Missy? That's how you doing? Yeah, quinine. Hey, Jordan Blue. Yeah, quinine was a lifesaver in when it came to malaria. And also, I don't know, many of you probably never heard of dengue fever. It tends to strike in Southeast Asia and in places like Africa. And they call it bone break disease because it hurts so bad you feel like your bones are breaking. And some people have had a similar thing happen with this infection with the COVID-19 virus. They've had a feeling like their body aches are off the scale, which is certainly not typical of regular influenza. Nice to see you, Jordan Blue. Judy says, oddly enough, I've heard from family and friends I've never contacted just checking up on me. Oh, that's nice. Okay, that's nice. I'm doing good. I'm doing okay, Missy. I'm doing okay. Missy Jen's doing well. Resting here. I'm probably going to get out and enjoy some sun, take Georgie for a nice walk. I hope that yesterday you were able to see springtime in the hood. Even in very troubling times, there's still beauty of spring. I did a little cinematic video that you may enjoy from yesterday, and also a little walk around to check in on, um, uh, the situation with how people are doing on the streets, and they're getting antsy. I'm gonna put it out there. All right. So this evening I will be doing another chooch. Okay, I will be going out and I'm probably going to take another drive to either Petaluma or do the walk in town here. I want to see, last time I had gone out, the order of business closures and things, and people are still allowed to walk the streets if they have a mask on and they maintain social distancing for doing exercising. But it's going to be interesting to see because the last time I went down, we were only supposed to shelter until the end of March. Now it's to the end of April. So I'm interested to see what has transpired over that month or so since we've been down there. I don't think anybody should walk in a pair. Okay, you don't know. Vitamin D is essential for a healthy immune system. I am taking a um, magnesium, vitamin D, the little gel, uh, very important, and also vitamin C. And yesterday I made sure to go out shopping early to the restaurant supply store and load up on case quantities of single serving orange juices for restaurants. I loaded up on things like some spaghetti sauce so I wouldn't have to bother making my own. And I can't remember, I got a whole 10-pound thing of chicken breast, individual portions of that. So I feel like we're good to go, and I really need to clamp down on Missy Jen to make sure that she doesn't go anywhere in the next 2 weeks. This is going to be juice. What's up? What's up? This that she doesn't go out there and shopping. Hello, Juice. Yeah, it's gonna be 30. I'm afraid. I mean, because we're Juice. You're correct. We live in a time when people are results oriented, short term. We can we can get information at our fingertips like that. We have high speed transportation. You know, we ask something, we demand something, we get it done. We get it done. Now comes a situation, something we really don't have control over. And like Juice says, it can be like a frog that's sitting in the bottom of a pot of cold water, and the heat's turned underneath, and you know, it's a slow roll. We get that. How you doing, Gal? Um, so we just have to see. But my main objective now for the next couple weeks will be to keep Missy Jen at home. And so far, success has been ours. We've navigated through, and I'm very happy about that. How you doing? Thank you, Justin. This is my Marvel. Michael's been taking all these vitamins. Well, it's I'm going to take mine. Charlene, I never thought it would happen in my lifetime, too. So let's give a big smile. I'm going to continue to bring funny content too. I have a little rail on Gordon Ramsay. It's hard to feel sorry for somebody that has the shelter in place in a 4 million pound estate. You know, I found myself reduced to tears and agonizing over the thought of what can I do. And I may actually box up a care package and ship it off to Gordon Ramsay there in Cornwall, England. Wouldn't that be funny? I'll catch this MF who sent me this thing. Who is it, Rosie O'Kelly? Wait till I get over there and track you down, take you on, and I'll be like, come on, man, bring it. I love that, man. I love that. You know, people that are wanting. But Instagram is looking up. You know how many girls or ladies are posting their pictures and posing in G-strings and bikinis? Definitely an upside of the sheltering in place. It's a nice way to stay relevant out there if you're a star. Isn't that hilarious? I should send something. Carrie Duvall said, afternoon, Rosie. Can you imagine if this was 1945 and today's youth would be asked to storm the beaches of Normandy? Well, Carrie, I'm not going to be super negative on, I don't, you know, I haven't seen any what would I say, outbound behavior of younger people in this thing. I've got to be honest. The thing that concerned me, though, was this captain that was fired from this aircraft carrier, one of Santa Rosa's finest, okay, graduate of Montgomery High School here in Santa Rosa, California. Problem is, I agree with the Secretary of the Navy, because I thought to myself before, and I mean they applauded him, and somebody screamed out when he was speaking in Guam, the Secretary of the Navy, and telling people why he did it. Somebody F-bombed him, and I understand he was a little tough. It was like when General Patton in 1944 or whatever slapped that soldier in a field hospital. The repercussions were tremendous, and Patton had to come out. Patton had to come out and you know, find himself apologizing in front of a whole group. Thank you, Stella Gibson. Your message will never see the light of day in here. Okay, you just don't understand how you just get chopped right off before your message even goes through. But keep going. You know, you're the kind of mental case that has made YouTube what it is today. So be proud of yourself. Be proud. When you close out today, just look at yourself in the mirror and say, what did I do that was positive today? And the answer will be nothing. Okay, which pretty much sums up your life as a zero. But keep hiding behind your fake little names there without the, you know, the balls of a squirrel. Okay. So anyway, like I was saying, when you have command of one of the most expensive assets in the American arsenal, and something like coronavirus comes along and you panic, I'm sorry. You just got to suck it up and do the best you can and use your brain and just expect herd immunity to do what it does. You don't go firing off a letter to 20 news sources complaining about it. That's the sad aspect of that whole situation. I don't want a guy like that commanding an aircraft carrier. As I said in World War II, here's the thing for you, Kerry. Imagine this guy under fire with kamikazes and like our like our brave men did in World War II, manning those side guns and seeing those planes coming in full force and still ripping away, boom, 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 boom. They didn't duck and run in panic. And some ships, a few of more than a few, went down, and some people lost their lives. But I never once had the idea in reading World War II history, and particularly naval history, I never got any indication that anybody panicked in the line of duty. They just held the line, prayed to God, and kept firing away and kept launching planes. Even when decks were destroyed and bombed out and planes had to ditch in the sea, they still kept their cool. Okay? So, that's why I think about that. That was a good test for me. That's a good test to command. I can think of a million situations in history where people on ships, when the when the Indianapolis went down, and one by one, Navy guys were being eaten, surrounded by sharks, and just being picked off one by one, and still managing to keep people together and keep morale up and things like that. That's the way a captain is. Even even John F. Kennedy, the great story of PT 109. All these guys panicked, having been cut in half by a Japanese vessel. He still took command and managed to get them safely to an island and did his captaining duty. I wonder if this captain would have been able to do the same. I don't know. It concerns me. Yeah, he has to take orders. Yeah, I'm always torn about it. But what an acid test though to see. Yeah, I know you care about your men, but at that moment in time when the rest of the world is, you got cruise ships out there with civilians, you've got tents being erected in Central Park. Italy and Europe or your allies are basket case, and you want to elevate the status of your mission. I think a lot of captains would have gotten on the horn, the speaker system, and said, this is the reality of things. We're in the service. We're down on the totem pole here. It's up to us to do the best we can to make people comfortable, but to recognize that some of us will probably lose our lives. But we will maintain the dignity of the United States Navy. That's it. Well, I don't know if he wanted to retire early and take his fat pension in peace. He'll forever be questioned. The even the hometown newspaper. I mean, they put a slant on it that cheering and everything. I can understand in the short term that those people that served on that aircraft carrier feel a sense of relief. But yeah, yeah, some people are not so much immune; they can be asymptomatic. They don't show any. They don't show any. Hey, Beryl, they don't show any symptoms of it. Does not mean that they can't spread. Let me see. This thing keeps binging, banging, boing in here. Okay, there we go. So once again, if you are a moderator on here, you also have the ability, if you're reviewing comments and things, I need not see it if it's something that is so ridiculously out of bounds, just remove it. Okay. Now, tonight I told you that I'm going to be hitting the streets, doing my walk around, getting my exercise, checking things out. I will probably take off about 4 o'clock or so. I'm particularly eager to see, to put another point in time to see how things are bearing up. I will be packing my own dinner. I'm still pretty happy. The only thing that Missy Jen and I ate outside over the last month was a Impossible Burgers from Burger King, and we really sanitized and made sure we cleaned up our hands. So I will. Hey Megan, how you doing? So I will be taking precautions, taking my own food, my own drink, and I think at the end of the night I will see about taking one beer and enjoying that. I don't really fancy going into a 7-Eleven for a beer. Yes, I've made. Carrie says, Rosie, do you ever make your own rye bread? I have made Jewish rye bread, which is tremendous. I would encourage you to go to my search box on the channel, on my videos, and just put Jewish rye bread either here or in the Rosie Murphy channel. And you will see multiple times that I have enjoyed making rye bread. I love the taste of it with the caraway and all that. Seeing how to use your thong as face mask may be a precaution. I have an N95 mask. Okay, so I am good to go in this endeavor. Okay, so I'm not. To me, it's going to be another fact-finding mission, and it's going to be very interesting to sweep the streets to see what kind of to see if things are a little more lively, or who's taking a shot at doing what. Yeah, I will be putting a mask on. We have a great bunch in my corner. We shared this morning. One brought me beets. That's great, Catherine. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Julie says it's going to be weird having a Seder with two people, but it'll be the most memorable Seder you ever had in your life. Okay. You know, it's going to be a strange Easter week. Because typically I always enjoyed the festivities and the spirit of Easter time. Maybe that will infuse more now. Maybe those practices of Judaism with Seder will take on more meaning. As I said tonight, there is, or a couple nights ago, there is some symbolism of the act of Passover, that death passes over certain homes, and we're in a time where we don't know who's going to get hit and who's not. It has nothing to do with who's evil or who's not. It has to do with a virus. But I think the parallel is certainly made that at this time of year, we pray that we may be passed over, and that this doesn't. Megan says no one is taking it seriously enough. I feel what drives this home, Megan, is when somebody in your neighborhood or somebody in your family, somebody that you know in your community. Yesterday, the Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, was moved to intensive care, and that rammed it home. You could tell. You could tell there was kind of this thing spares nobody. You could sort of tell that, and the soaring number of deaths in the UK. Once it starts to strike down to street level, which it will here in the next week or two, then people will remember. That's good, Catherine. There's much to be grateful for. Yeah, maybe get a good deal on chocolate chocolate today. As the diocese asked us to put Christmas lights on a cross on the front door. Well, I'll probably try to set something. I'll probably try to set something like that up then. You know, to get something up. Hello, Katie. I need to have some uh, symbolism that we're all in this together. It does take a big change, Megan, to impact people, and I'm afraid until people see it with their own eyes, or an ambulance rolls up next door and people are masked up to the nth degree, and somebody's being taken out on the stretcher, it'll hit home to people at that time. Until that time comes, and I hope it never comes to where you are. I hope it never comes here, but I fear it will, just because of the community that Missy, Jen, and I find ourselves in. It's not a community that is used to, in any sense of the way, social distancing. Okay, everybody's jammed on top of each other like rats in this place. Apartment house by apartment house over apartment, 3 stories, 4 stories, just squeezed in. As somebody told me yesterday, we're in like cockroaches. We see each other. We have to do our laundry. We got to take our garbage out. It's inevitable we're going to pass a lot of people. All right, there we go. Joan Ann Smith. People are going out at 8. Yeah, I was on Eric's stream yesterday. Eric the Goat guy. Yeah, I was on his stream yesterday. Thank you, Megan, for being on the stream. Hello, Andrew Scott. Nice to see you. Nice to see you here today. So I think that's what's going to drive it home to people when it comes to their community. I watch every day. I read the Press Democrat, which is our local newspaper here. I try to keep on top, as does Missy Jen. Missy Jen's much more plugged into events of the world than I am. But I will tell you, yesterday when Boris Johnson was taken into intensive care, that rattled me. And I found myself saying a prayer last night that he would pull through and be okay. I mean, that really rattled me. And I think it's only a matter of time till some people within the Trump administration are stricken. It's very difficult when some people are asymptomatic. Oh, thank you, Rosie. You're now officially my favorite YouTuber. Yay! Bella Grace says, I'm not getting your notifications and I've tried everything. Here's what you want to do. Depends how many devices you have. Let's assume that you have a cell phone that has the YouTube app. Let's assume that you have a tablet. Some people do. And let's assume you have a notebook, a laptop, or a desktop. Now, on a lot of people's cell phones, they have notifications turned off. They don't want to be. Every time somebody they're subscribed to is live, bing, something comes up. Okay, so they turn it off. Now, this is part one. If there's any single device amongst yours that are turned off to no notifications, then from what I understand from YouTube and from other people, it will go across to every device that you were on. You will not need a notification. That's the number one thing you can do, is make sure notifications are turned on all devices. Number two, unsubscribe from the channel, refresh your browser, then go up to the upper right hand corner, clear your cache and all of your history. Come back in again, open a new browser window, go to YouTube, come to my channel, this channel, Rosie Murphy and Rosie McNamara, and resubscribe, and then hit the bell for notification of all activities. Some people are just hitting the first bell and it's just notify me of a video upload. Well, a lot of my stuff is live streams, okay? You want to make sure you hit it for all notifications, okay? That's the only thing I can do. One of the most consistent problems that I hear from people, and I'm surprised because YouTube is supposed to be all this high tech and this highfalutin stuff, but at the end of the day, they can't seem to get push notifications out, and I think a lot of it has to do with the receivers end. So that's the best advice. Hey, Shar, that's the best advice I can give you. He's on oxygen, no ventilator, and stable. Good. Okay. We know the flow around politicians is that people will shape the news for public morale. And then you're likely to hear, unfortunately, we're saddened to announce the death of XYZ or something like that. I mean, I can tell people if I'm affected here in the United States with the announcement that he's in intensive care, then I know other people within the great British Commonwealth were definitely impacted too. Yeah, so I'm very happy. Only using one laptop. Okay, I don't just unsub. Uh, Open up. Just turn off your computer after you unsub and start up. Clear your cache and come to the channel. Subscribe to the 3 channels. Hit all notifications for all the channels because I'm still doing baking and fun Space Girl and other fun things here on the channel. So don't forget, y'all with that 5G network will probably get the Rona. Yeah, it's another thing that what a throwback to medieval times. I mean, it's like people setting fire to the 5G boxes around Britain, right? And I'm thinking to myself, wow, it's like let's go find a couple witches because black smoke came up from this cabin instead of white smoke. Let's smoke out a few witches. I mean, it's people are unbelievable. I'm sorry I missed what you said, Julie. Hey, Jen, how are you doing? Hey, Johnny West, nice to see you. Yeah, they're transmitting the virus through 5G. When times get tough, Jordan Blue, and some people panic, some people want that immediate cause. Uh, but there's a lot of people. Just think about these 2 goofballs that are going to be prosecuted for all the police SWATs and things that they ordered and the threats and the things that they did. There's people that are mentally disturbed out there. Okay, they don't understand science. Everything is a government conspiracy. It's just sad. Loss of property. The whole situation's beyond Twilight Zone. I found that going through the list of whom and deleting people I didn't watch helped me. Oh, okay. Well, maybe that's the key then to clean up your sub list. And, there's people that aren't putting up content that you thought maybe something was cool and nothing else came. That's probably a good idea. It's probably a really good idea. Yeah, Johnny West, it's a good day today. We're just chilling. Puts out more radiation than a microwave, but I doubt if it introduces a virus into people. you know, Viruses are a living thing. 5G is not. I mean, it's just a fact of life. Full-time professional healthcare. He has chronic health concerns. I'm grateful for each and every day we're given. Bless you all. Well, bless him, Tracy, and God bless him. And I hope that he's able to keep safe. Hey, Sean, how you doing? How are ya? How are ya? Good to see you. So, yeah, it's a good way to sift through the BS. So we're kind of right now, I think, we had this initial shock and awe, right? With the markets and now, every day maybe maybe the cases are going down in Europe, and for the first day in months, China doesn't report a death. So people were like starting to feel pretty good, and their concern level starts to drop, and you go down this U, and then all of a sudden you come roaring out of that U again because this hits into your community where you live. And I don't know when lockdowns are lifted. We're just in a herd mentality situation. But to expect people to go back to movie theaters, to expect people to go to restaurants, to gather at sporting events, it's it's a little far fetched. And I have to hand it to ESPN yesterday for broadcasting the platform tennis championship somewhere out of New York. Two guys in their backyard platform tennis court going at it. The sports world. My goodness. Well, I'll tell you one thing. A lot of people have been addicted to sports for a long time. This will probably go very far to breaking that addiction to to sports, in my opinion, because people find themselves starting to fill in with other activities and making them they can be pleasurable and a change of pace. I found myself watching replays of classic NBA championship games, classic Super Bowls, classic baseball game sevens of 1953 World Series. And then after a week, I'm like, yeah, I already know what happened, right? I mean, I'm not going to sit there and listen to the play by play and all of that. So it'll be at least the beginning of June before lockdowns for my fellow healthcare. Yeah, it's very hard when you're, all of us feel a lot of concern for healthcare workers. And Sean, I hope that you're keeping well. You and yours, I know you're probably gone a little stir crazy with House of Boys. You deserve everything you get. Yeah, that's cool. Jackie Blue said my son was having withdrawal. Now he's fighting online with liberals. He got more time with my dog is such an intense thing. Yeah, yeah. Jordan Breeze, like I had to bust out Richard Pryor albums from 1970s. I've been watching movies at night. I've been digging down into other history and watching. If we do slide off into tough times, I want to be really ahead of the curve and looking at things like labor and looking at things that happened in the 1930s with a microscope. How the least of us coped going through at that particular time. Put some decent programming on and less sports. Well, some people I enjoy it. I enjoy a good sporting event. Okay, but I'm not going to watch but 5 minutes of platform tennis championship 2020. Are you a fan of film noir? Yes, I am. And I'm also a person, Carrie, that can derive as much out of a well done silent movie like Diary of a Lost Child starring Louise Brooks, things like that. There's some absolutely staggering the tribulations of Joan of Arc. There's some staggering black and white movies that are tremendous. See, watch TV, tell the press. Well, I generally, Fish will watch movies. And particularly, I love historical documentaries. But once a documentary is over, I'll often find myself going back and digging further into the story to see if there's another side of the story, so that there can be balance to balance the things, and much more. You get the basic bones of something, but you don't get the flesh on the bone. You start putting names on it. You start reading newspaper stories. One of the things that I found fascinating many years ago, hey poet, many years ago, was I used to go to the Enoch Pratt Library, which is was the free library of Baltimore City, and I would go down to the main library down on, I guess it was Mulberry Street or Cathedral Street, right across from the Basilica. And I would go to their microfilm section, and I would pull out microfilm of like New York Times, and randomly go back to like 1929, 1930, 19, to see and to read a newspaper of that time and to see what the spirit was. Try to gauge how, if people knew what was coming or not. Gauge hopefulness, and then when times looked the worst, they couldn't see recovery and good times were coming again, and to gauge that. I think that's very fascinating. Uh, okay, thank you, poet. Yeah, I put it out there last night. And this morning, the two envelopes from the Department of Justice, the Eastern District of Virginia Attention Victim Witness Unit, stamped April 2nd, 2020. Two defendants working in cooperation with each other. Two jerks in one, right? Like the old double mint certs or whatever. Crystal and I are working on some stained glass. It's the perfect time to be creative. I would say so, Mike. You got the perfect woman to be sheltered in place with. I mean, I find Crystal fascinating in terms of the knowledge that she has, and the things that her interests are definitely outliers on the normal and the they're definitely outside of the mainstream of most of the things on YouTube. So I can imagine you're going to have an interesting rest of your lockdown. And I got a yeah. Hello, Susie. I've just been too busy with the virus. Been hard. Yeah, I hear you, Jen. A glass of wine and good book. I'm doing too much screen time nowadays. Charges are computer time. You can go on and see last night's stream has all of the Department of Justice news release regarding them. Jen and I have been pursuing this for some time, and finally, yesterday in the mail came our official notification that the charges have been filed, naming the lead prosecutor as Karina Cuellar. The main charge is categorized as computer crime. Yeah. Charges have been filed in federal court, and it's telling us there's compensation available for us. It says a lot of things come to a plea agreement. It says also, no, it's not unusual for a defendant to seek to negotiate a plea agreement shortly before trial. If you want to, we're allowed to, which I did, to put a statement in before about aspects of reaching a plea agreement and things like that in this particular case. And then it gives the court dates. Now, I will say that this prosecutor is either in the Army Reserve or National Guard, so they are deployed at the current time, and this will probably slow this down here. So they've given me a victim identification number and a PIN number to use to stay in touch on their website. United States versus John William Kirby Kelly, case number 2020 00075, court docket number 20-CR-00082. And for United States versus John Cameron Denton, case number 2020 R00816, and court docket number 20MJ00084. Now, one of these guys has already, let me see, has already pled, let's see, it's probably, I'm trying to see which one. One of these, I don't have time to read through the 3 pages, but one of these has, I don't think it's John William Kirby. One of these, there was something that, I don't know where in the hell I read that. I'll have to find that before next time I come on. Might be in another thing that we might be in another thing that we received. Something I read said one of these goobers had already pled. I don't know. I gotta find that. One of them had already pled, and I was told yesterday by the woman that one of them had was pleading guilty. Just Jen, go back and put on last night's hangout. We finally have some resolution for the police wellness check. I'll call it that to keep the trolls happy. The police wellness check. We know it was a SWAT when they came in January 28th to the Rancho here. We finally had some resolution of something that we've been pursuing vigorously for a very, very long time. And we're very, very happy to be a part of what's going to come down in the future. Thank you, Fish. You and people like Cabs having get swatted. I'm not sure what happened to Cab's situation. Yeah, and make sure you hit the thumbs up. You can see the haters. They lose their voice here. And the only thing they have to do is log into their multiple hate accounts and thumbs down. So please give a thumbs up on the chat today, and that is much appreciated here. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it seemed like these people were. We not only had that situation, we had a long list of Gmails and things that were sent that were very hateful that ended up being tied to these these particular people. So that it kind of put things all together. I'm just checking something now here. Okay. Let's see. I'll be gone in about 20 minutes to get ready for. Okay, I don't see you. Okay, you take care. Be safe. I will be on the road this afternoon. Hey, cute kitty. Nice to see you. Happy birthday, Matt Pope. Happy birthday to you. So I will be on the road today, bringing you guys the stories as we continue to follow the lockdowns here. Probably will be going and retracing the same routes down either in Petaluma or in Santa Rosa here. I haven't quite decided which it will be. Thank you very much. Thumbs up are very, very appreciated. Uh, let's see. Yeah, I'm curious person when it comes to types of charge. Seems like the intra or interstate would be included. It is. It says since it crosses federal lines, it automatically becomes a federal case when threats and things are done across federal lines. And it just says they're both in custody. You can also see in yesterday's um, the links I have down below. You can read the official charging document of the United States Department of Justice, Eastern District of Virginia in Alexandria. It has more details about things on there. So. Yeah, it was. How you doing, Bubba? Yeah, there was two guys that had been harassed Missy Jen and I for a period of time. John Cameron Denton, and John William Kirby Kelly, and they're going to charge have been filed in federal court. So we finally received our notification that we're identified by law enforcement as victims or potential victims of the above criminal case. So defendants are presumed innocent until proven guilty. You can we can have an attorney. There's, let's see. Then they just tell you how you can keep up with the court's schedule. I thought I saw something that one of these guys had already planned to plead. Where in the heck did I read that? I don't know. I might have made a mistake on that, but I did talk to the woman on the phone from the office yesterday, and she made it quite clear that one of them had planned to plead guilty on that. I think it was the student. It was dropped out of Old Dominion. I think it was John Cameron Denton is the one that. They do mention in the charging documents the names of them. One of them was, I think, called Death, and the other, I can't remember what the other one is. Yeah, thank you for the thumbs up, much appreciated, everybody. Oh, thank you, D. Appreciate that. Nice to see you. Uh, yeah, it looked like the channel stalled, but it was Rosie. Yeah, for once I was staying still. It's like, Rosie, what the hell are you doing? You're sitting still. You're sitting still. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I am. I'm sitting still today. Oh, what time? 11:30. So I'm happy this thing comes to an end. They also they're also very good. The Justice Department also sends you a nice little when you're a victim of these type of crimes, they enroll you in the victim notification system, and it's the Department of Justice are committed to ensuring that victims of federal crime are treated fairly as the cases move through. More in many cases, you will receive letters, emails generated through the victim notification service about events. It's available in English and Spanish. So information regarding investigative status, case activity, download links. I think it's pretty cool that they have this. So it's pretty cool. United States Department of Justice Victim Notification System. That's pretty cool. You know, thank God they put this thing together. So evidently, there's also some monies that are in that monies that they just automatically distribute and stuff that comes from crooks. Uh, VNS is funded. The fund is financed by fine. This whole thing is not. It's not money for us. It says this victim unit is financed by fines and penalties paid by convicted federal offenders, not from tax dollars. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, striking a pose, good stuff. I'm glad you got the outcome with the court to no one deserve. Well, I would agree, Nathan. So I'm pledged to keep people posted going forward on that. There's some other things that are moving forward on YouTube too, that are a little closer to home here that will be coming out hopefully within the next 90 days or so. And this is things that are procured with freedom of information and also working through Google Corporation and then filtering down through YouTube's legal department. So I'm looking forward to that. Should have something hopefully by July. I don't know what this, people are working from home and people are getting used to uh, working at home and not having the flow of information that they usually have at their fingertips. I imagine everything is going to slow down before it'll probably be fall. Is the sense I'm getting that some other things about some other terrible actors within this site will be coming to light. I have a feeling, I thought it was going to be within 90 days. Now we get these notices due to our, the national pandemic things. Please bear with the program while we take steps to ensure the safety of our people. They're going to make it illegal to go out without a face mask. Well, I've got my, courtesy of Missy Jen, I got my own N95 mask. So, okay, that's going to make all the different distance out there, all the difference. Varios I never choose to trim. It does not try to occur to. No, I don't. I don't tell other people how to live their lives, Carrie, and I'm not one to go put YouTube videos up and flame people and call them out and then remove them and take the channel down and restart the new channel and yeah, I don't do that kind of stuff. 99% of my stuff that I did is still up on the channel. I had to take down some things to be more compliant with YouTube's terms and conditions, and that was done over 15 months ago. So this could be a year of social distancing. Well, let me ask you this, Bubba Bug. Are you going to be piling into a movie theater? You're going to go to the arenas and things and concerts and be in the scrum and holding people. Yeah, yeah, yeah. People's behavior is going to be changed for quite a while here. People will be concerned about a resurgence when we come to the fall. This will have a long tail to it. This particular situation. So just stay tuned, and we don't know, Jack. Hey, Blue, we don't know. But I'm putting up a video in an hour or so that's going to talk about Trump's big gamble, opening up the economy versus continued shutdown for month after month after month. And I have a feeling that business is going to win. And all this will just be herd immunity is what will ultimately come. Yeah, I hear you, Sean. It's waiting for Newsom to announce the state of affairs until 2021. You watch. Well, I'll be taking off for Vegas. So we'll see. Hey, Sonny. I saw a meme of Congress. Chuck has had a mask on and only has mask. He. There you go, Katie. Yeah, the movies are usually played in theaters now and home on demand. We can pretty much figure that the end of movie theaters as we know them is at hand. Parking, uh, having that luscious theater, oversalted, over-oiled theater popcorn, the $6 cup of soda, the $10 bucket of popcorn. It's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't think so. Right. I'm not sure I want to go to Disneyland and stand in a snaking line of 150 people, 200 people waiting to get on the Magic Mountain, or go through It's a Small World, grabbing the handlebars of what a kid slobbered on with COVID-19 or whatever. There's a lot of things are going to be. A lot of things are going to change. People are going to wonder in a restaurant, did this person really wash their hands? See, at home, you can say, well, I'm Mississippi Katie. I know I wash my silverware and plates, so I know I'm clean. But if I go out to eat at Jimmy John's barbecue, woo, it's kind of a slap and tickle operation, but they got good food. Them ribs is woo. Now she's gonna think I love Jimmy John, but I can't go there. I might get the cooties, something like that. Yeah, no more teacup rides. No more tea. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know why some even in California they required the governor of California, much to his credit, just said I'm not going to get involved in this. The LA sheriff wanted them closed, and governor's just open, just let it go. We don't got time to go to court and get these emergency injunctions. So it's our until constitutional rights are suspended to habeas corpus. We cannot just willy-nilly suspend constitutional rights, and the right to bear arms is guaranteed by the Constitution of the United States. You may not like it, but go argue about the other amendments then. Go out and protest that the president's limited to 2 terms in office. Go out and protest the Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. If you don't like the Constitution, change the Constitution as it is now. Respect it while it's in place. All right. We bought on the federal background check system was down. My hands are raw from using them with sanitizer. You just be careful. If I put that note, it was the same guy who did that SWAT. Maybe you can turn that note into the FBI and they can compare. Brandon, I'm not going to disclose anything that we did here over the course of the last 10 months or so. Not 10 months, but a pretty long period of time with periodic, very hard work, very intense work with, I'm not going to say anything. Okay, but I am just going to say that things can be pursued and the light of day can shine. Okay, but that's all I'm going to say about it. Let's see, you and my mother are the only ones I know that say wash instead of wash. Well, how would you say it? Washington, D.C. That's a mid-Atlantic. I'm finally washing my hands. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lots of illegals in California, like criminals. No way I would not be armed there. It's my money. Hey, Kitten Cat, I love that. Johnny West it's my money and I want it now. If you need a loan, I need it now. Call J.G. Wentworth. Do, 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 do. It's my money and I want it now. Call J.G. Wentworth. Do, do. Let me see if we can call up a J.G. Wentworth. Hold on a minute. This should be classic, right? This should be classic. Hold on a minute. J.G. Wentworth song. Here we go. Yeah, I love the Open Bus 2019.
I have a structured settlement, but I need cash now. Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now. I have an annuity, but I need cash now. Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now. 877 cash now. They have thousands, they'll help you too. One lump sum of cash they will pay to you. If you get long-term payments, but you need cash now. Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now. 877 cash now. 877 cash now. 877 cash now.
I love
It's your
that.
money. Use it when you need it.
That's right, baby. Where's my stimulus? Oh, I love that, man. I got a structured. Here's another one. This one was really good.
I have a structured settlement and I need cash now. Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now. I have an annuity, but I need cash now. Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now. 877 cash now. They have thousands, they'll help you too. One lump sum of cash they will pay to you. If you get long-term payments, but you need cash now.
You have, guys. You gotta admit, I mean, that is some kind of, to stage an opera and things like that. I remember those things like they were yesterday. And I don't know what the interest rates were. They must have, how you doing, Jay? They must have been absolutely horrendous. The interest rate, if you were to discount, if you got a structured settlement, say 50,000 a year, and you want for 20 years, right, $1 million over 20 years, and they say, well, we'll give you 400,000 immediate now. That's the way to. Then you can do the discounting and figure out, that they were they were being killed on that stuff. Yeah, Jen, anybody to post the blurble, just get it out of here. Yeah, it was good advertising. It was tremendous advertising. And I had to laugh. Hello, Eddie. I love clever advertising. And I don't really know, to be honest, I don't even know if J.G. Wentworth is still in business today. I think a lot of these places probably, yeah, they're still there. Yep, J.G. Wentworth is still there. They're not doing the commercials. They'll tell you how to get started to do a cash. You can receipt up to $5,000 cash advance now. So yeah, they're still doing their thing out there. If you need to use settlement and I need it now, call J.G. Wentworth. Yeah, there you go, Kitten Cat, Mr. Microphone. That's it. Yeah, welcome to the channel. You're watching a live stream hangout. Those commercials are they still on, Bubba Bug? Wow. I thought it was so clever to have an opera fully staged with that, and now I'm thinking of my stimulus check. It reminds my money, and I want it now. It's my money, and I want it now. Now, they did crack down on a lot of these payday loan companies that were, if you needed to, and okay, I'll tell you, I used it before. I've used pawn shops before. Okay, I'll just put it out there. I've pawned computers before. I got a payday loan before, but the interest rates were over the top on that kind of stuff. It's not something that I look for. I tried to get the money back as I reborrowed from other people. But I needed cash in a pinch bad, so I ended up doing that. And I've always used pawn shops for years because that's what we grew up around. It was always something where you know how much for the toaster oven? $2, okay. Do you want to buy it or pawn it? Yeah, yeah, all that's payday loans are still here. They've been cut down a lot here. They haven't, they're under the gun. Yeah, Publishers Clearinghouse. I pawned a ring. I've pawned computers. I've pawned a gold piece. I've pawned quite a few things over the years, but I've always gotten every single thing out of pawn. Usually within 3 weeks or so. Only once I had to extend my ticket on it. You shop in pawn shops, you're doing great. Okay, you shop at flea markets are the same because I can go in and people don't know you can bargain in a pawn shop. I got some tool I bought a couple years ago. I can't, maybe a tile cutter, saw, when I was doing all the tile work here, and I picked up one for peanuts. Okay, the thing looked like it sat around forever. I said, "Prove to me it works." Took a piece of tile in. Yeah, the water feed works. Okay. Yeah, it's 120 bucks. I got $40 already here. Hey Tara, how you doing, sweetie? Nice to see you. How could it be legal for the Fed to print out mortgage paper to just hand it? Makes that money. Well, look at what's happening to gold and silver after that initial spike down. Brandon, you've got to understand that precious metals are very sensitive to this. Now they're falling off a bit today. Evidently, the market's giving up steam, but it is rather inevitable that over the long term that they always preserve purchasing power. So I'm not particularly worried about the ups and downs. What do you mean palm or pawn? It's pawn. Pawn. You take a computer. Look, I don't want to go to a bank sometimes and try to arrange a personal loan. I mean, sometimes that stuff takes a week or two, okay? But I take a $2,000 4K screen computer and I take it into the pawn shop and I say, I want to pawn this, meaning I want to get some money on this. And the guy's, okay, I can give you 400 bucks for it. Okay, and he's going to charge me a certain amount of interest on that. Okay, and he's going to give me a pawn ticket. Now I can keep paying on that, the interest every week, every month, or I can pay him back with interest and then get my computer out of pawn. It's like a very high interest loan, or I can sell it to him if I want to. All right, you never really saw. I'm not really into Bitcoin. You never really saw on Pawn Stars the few times that people went in to actually pawn something to them. Everything was always a sale. Rick Harrison or Chumley or the old man would say, "Do you want to sell it or pawn it?" And I want to sell it. But there were some times that people actually pawned that item and they negotiated a certain amount of cash to get. One guy had a fancy car or something and he said, I'm going to take, maybe it was a $20,000 car, some restored classic. And Rick's like, yeah, I'll give you 4,000 bucks pawn on it. Yeah, I'm going to go down to the casino and see if I get lucky tonight. If you don't claim it out after 90 days, it belongs to the pawn shop. And then it gets put up for sale in their shop. Eddie says I had to sell my watch to a jeweler. They gave me $400. That's an alternative way. But if you need money in the short term, and I don't want to deal with the bank to get a short term loan, so let's put the computer into pawn. All right. Back in December of 2018, I raised money for somebody that, quote, desperately needed it here on YouTube. And, you know, sad to say, I never got paid back a thin dime on that. So, yeah, they know people are naming the pawn has collected a ton of. You can just get, yeah, you can get good deals. Make sure that you negotiate. You don't have to get ripped off. Okay, but I'll tell you one thing, Bubba Bug. How you doing, JK? I'll tell you one thing, Bubba Bug. At that moment and in that time, I was glad it's there. And many times over the last 10 years or so, when I would get in a little bit of a cash crunch, it was nice to know, you know, that I could grab one of my vintage Fisher units that's some of them are worth over $1,000 and temporarily pawn that, you know, without having to waste days and paperwork and all that kind of crap. So pawn shops are hold on. Most owners I've seen are packing. Well, yeah. I mean, you have the right to defend your property, right? And pawn shops make great targets, especially the amount of jewelry. Can you imagine the amount of jewelry? Go to a Las Vegas pawn shop. I'm not talking about Pawn Stars. Pawn Stars is an unusual store. It's more about people going in to sell cool stuff, whether it's an original leaf from the Gutenberg Bible, a Mickey Mantle rookie card, right? Some original first year Colt gun, all kinds of things. Place setting from the Titanic. That's not a typical. You're not gonna go in there and see tools every Friday here in Santa Rosa. You know, especially from guys that work construction that get paid every 2 weeks. That week in between, they'll take all their tools to a pawn shop. They'll get their drinking money. And then Sunday, they'll come pull it out of pawn. Okay. So a typical pawn shop has a not much collectible stuff, but they do have a lot of jewelry and they make great targets. Okay, because jewelry is worth something, though. So, Pawn Stars is for entertainment, exactly. Exactly. We take an idiot to rob a pawn shop. They're packing. Of course they are. I mean, I wouldn't. Would you wanna go toe to toe with a pawn shop owner who's used to dealing with thugs? What was that? What was the pawn show about the? What was the pawn show about Detroit? Where that family, the daughter, the father, and the son ran a pawn shop in Detroit, Michigan. Man, you talk about people would flip their wigs in there. Some people would just go off and just, oh my God, I couldn't imagine dealing with these. Do you ever loan money to friends and family that destroys it? I've ended up, I lent a brother a significant amount of money, and I ended up his family remained in need, and I just keep it. I don't want it. I think he was going to start a business or something like that. You know, I've had the sad experience on YouTube of every person I've ever asked to borrow money. Not one of them has paid them back, and the only person that paid back was a person that I gifted the money to in 2015, Vegas Vixen, and she paid me back with some. And I didn't even want it. So not likely I'm doing that. So, I'll help people out in my community, Brandon. That's the key. I'll literally next time just go put food on somebody's, buy a box of food and stick it in their porch or something, okay? Nespresso machine with money. That's nice, Mrs. Doyle. A lot of those shows are fake, Bubba Bug. I mean, how many people are walking into a pawn shop? Look, man, if I got an original leaf, an original page out of the Gutenberg Bible, I'm not going to go into a pawn shop to sell it. I'm going to call Sotheby's, the auction gallery, and I'm going to pay them their 15% or 10 or 15% commission, and I'm going to let it go to their worldwide audience of bidders on the phone from Japan and Korea and Hong Kong and Shanghai, Italy, right? I'm not going to sell it at a pawn shop. Right, somebody comes in with a 1944 steel cent or whatever. There was only like 10 of them punched or something, right? I'm not going to sell it at a pawn shop. It's still in the back of your mind. You never pay, even if you well, I don't think so, Brandon. I'm not hurt because number one, it was an immediate relative of mine, and number two, his need was acute. So now I always joke to Jen. Now, if somebody borrows money, I always tell her, it's just imagine it's gone. Okay, you'll never see it again. Think of it that way, and then decide if you still want to give the money. Get a better. Well, that's what I'm saying. You're going to get a much better price at Sotheby's, worldwide. Their bidder list is amazing, and you're gonna get probably, it's gonna float with the economy. I wouldn't want to be putting stuff at auction now. I mean, prices are ooh, but when times are good, especially art is like it's like a ECG machine. Do 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 do. It's up and down. Yeah, Kroger bought too much meat. We got $64 steak for $22. You're gonna see a lot of that happening. After this 2 week period, I still tell you there's going to be shortages. When these checks hit are going to be at the time when the maximum fear is sinking in on a local level. So you'll still see people that now understand why they don't know now why they need to hunker down, but they will know in a week or two, and then boom, they'll be out there doing that stuff again. Yeah, there you go, Bubba Bug. I killed lots of anti-cellular instead of that's right, Carrie. That's exactly right. So, well, Jackie Blue, see, that's unacceptable to me. But nowadays, when I give something, I assume that I'm not going to see that again. So that's just the reality. That's the way I operate. Call J.G. Wentworth. Do 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 do, and you need it now. Do 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 do. Blocked yet. Jen. We can make it happen. All right. Okay. I want to go back. Brings back memories of backseat action. Yeah. Drive-ins were pretty fun. They were pretty cool. They were pretty cool. But we went from the individual uh, theaters, then we went to these huge 13 theater megaplexes and all that stuff, and now they're probably history. Let's see. Brandon says, Rosie, think about this. If a person will never pay a bank back who could damage your credit and take your car, why would the person pay a friend back when they only lose a friend? Well, I guess because they see the lender as a chump, Brandon, and they're not disturbed in their mind. They probably delude themselves into thinking, well, you know, that person's, they don't really need it back, and I do. So it's okay. JJ, haven't seen action in years. Haven't seen action in years. Hey, I wonder how, has anybody seen Vanessa from the UK? Haven't seen her in weeks. Remember Vanessa that uh, would be at the Notting Hill Carnival and all that. I haven't seen her. Yeah, I've already did a video about drive-ins are going to make a big comeback. At least in my opinion, they probably will. So we shall see. Call J.G. Wentworth. Do 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 do, and I need it now. Do 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 do. I left my heart. Do 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 do. In San Francisco. Ooh, 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 high on a hill. It calls to me to be where the borrower's slave to the engine, to the lender. I mean, hope gonna flourish. Yeah, they still have some drive-ins. They have the Mountain View, I think, has one. I think Sacramento. We don't have one around here. We don't have a in terrible areas. Well, think about this, Jackie Blue. Think about how easy it is to revive a drive-in theater. Most of those screens are still there. You just whitewash them, change a few, get one of those pickers and go up there and change out a few boards, paint that mofo white, get out there and flame those weeds out of the parking lot, right? Get a little Wi-Fi, get a little Bluetooth blaster set up, ticket booth, snack booth, you're all set, right? Charge $10 a car, fill them up. Easy, because a lot of those places are used like what? They turned them into flea markets, so they're still around. Right? You can have flea market daytime and the drive-in like you like the drive-in French fries. Yeah. Yeah, there you go, Julie. Well, keep her out of that theater, honey. We also have to send I'll have to send the J.G. Wentworth opera there, so do 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 when you need it. No, Missy Jen hates my singing. She's many a day she wishes she had the duct tape. A nice piece of strong duct tape. Hello, Willa. Nice to see you. So welcome to you. She wishes she had a piece of nice Gorilla tape to put over my mouth for sure. Do 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 do, and you need it now. Do 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 do. Let's see that. Okay. San Jose's a flea market during the day. I'm sure the MFO. Hey, how you doing, Dancing Dawn? MFO, mother orphan. What? They closed the drive-in, the States Route 4. Exactly, they still have the flea market there, exactly. So they'll probably open that stuff up again, Sean Quinn. They'll probably open that. Any puts or calls this week? Nothing from me. Looking to short the end of this. Oh yeah, wash your MF hands. I'm looking to short the end of this rally here. That would be my next call here. So we shall see. We probably have some more legs on that, so we'll see. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close it down. Mr. Z, I'm sorry I saw you late coming in. Much love to you and the whole Z clan down there. Love you guys, and stay safe. I will see you this afternoon. I'm going to be out on the chooch this afternoon. I want to go around and do some investigating and do some checking it out. See what's going on. I may go all the way back up to Healdsburg again. I haven't really decided to see how that fancy pants town is doing. So, all right. Yeah, popcorn was nearly the same price as a movie ticket. Exactly. You know, I don't fancy banging out that kind of money for that stuff. So anyway, guys, have a wonderful rest of your day. And thanks for being on the Chooch today. And your thumbs up are most appreciated. If you're just coming in, please hit the thumbs up button. I really appreciate that. And stay safe. Okay. Thanks, everybody.